Happy holidays, everyone. Gaming Off the Grid here. We have been taking a stroll right down memory lane, reliving some of our favorite Christmas and holiday memories of all time. In today's episode, I want to tell you a little story about a time where I opened my gift, and I was initially disappointed, but it turned out to be one of the best gaming gifts I have ever received. What are we drinking today?
Today we continue our Goose Island Bourbon County week over here at Gaming Off the Grid. Today we're drinking Cheri. It's a cherry stout.
All right, you know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss an upload. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a holiday beer if you care to, and stay tuned to this episode of Gaming Off the Grid.
Girl J-Love81 and you're watching my boys Gaming Off the Grid.
All right, here we go. A Christmas memory that I will never forget. I've actually told this story in a few collaborations, and so you may have heard it before, but we've never really talked about it on the channel much. So the Christmas of '98 I've talked about last year. That's when we got our N64. But the Christmas prior, 1997, the only thing on our Christmas list, my brother and I's, was the Nintendo 64. We wanted a 64 so bad. We had dreams of the games we wanted. We had talked about, whoa, you could get this game, I could get this game, then we could blah, blah, blah. We had it all planned out. Christmas morning, we rush out to the tree. There's a console box front and center. It's wrapped though. But you know a console when you see it, right?
You know when you walk in, you're like, dude, that's the shape of a console box. That's the freaking Nintendo 64.
I was certain it was. So we did the good boy thing. My brother and I were both pretty patient kids. So we sat down and, let them take some pictures and did our stocking stuff first. And we're like, oh, hey, a pair of socks. But we played along, right? But we're sweating bullets wanting to open this N64. We get to it, rip the paper off. And it wasn't an N64. It was a Super Nintendo.
Ouch.
It was the Donkey Kong Country pack. And it was such a weird feeling because there was that initial I thought it was the N64. I knew it was the N64. But we hadn't yet ever had a Super Nintendo. We had been rocking the NES our whole entire lives. I think my family got it when I was like 2 or 3. We played like the same 6 to 8 games this entire time, my brother and I. So getting the Super Nintendo was kind of like, okay, I'm down with this. Donkey Kong Country was packed in. It's crazy because at the time, I knew of Donkey Kong, but I was only really familiar with like the arcade game, the NES game, and I had a neighbor with a Super Nintendo, and I think I had maybe seen it, but Donkey Kong. It wasn't that big of a deal to me. We got WrestleMania, whatever the first WWF game on Super Nintendo was. Had like Hogan and the Legion of Doom in it, I think. It was an LJN game, but it wasn't as good as like the Raw and Royal Rumble games that eventually came out. And we got Mario Kart and we got Madden 98. So initially, I'm like, WWF, Madden 98, Mario Kart was really jacked up. But when we unpacked the console, that was the game that was in the box. It's like, we're testing everything out, put it in. And little did I know, I wouldn't tear the plastic off the rest of those games the rest of Christmas break.
Wow.
Obsessed with Donkey Kong Country. From 1997 until now, I'm obsessed with the game. I think this winter alone, there's been 2 collaborations we've talked about my love for this game. And it all started right here. I mean, again, I didn't have much knowledge of the game until that point, which is kind of weird, but I lived on the street. My brother and I had the Nintendo, and one kid had a Super Nintendo. Everyone else had a Genesis.
Wow.
So up to that point, we weren't really exposed to a lot of the modern video games. For whatever reason, we knew we wanted an N64. But I couldn't be happier, looking back on it now, that we were given that Super Nintendo, which I still have, and this game, which I still have from that Christmas.
That is so awesome. And Donkey Kong Country is such a fantastic game. The soundtrack, everything about it is still beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a beautiful game.
I do think, in my opinion, it's one of the best looking video games I've ever played. And, graphics isn't like everything for me in a video game, but I distinctly remember flipping that game on and just being like, oh my God, like this sprite work is unreal. The sound effects, the bass, there's a lot of low end in that game. There's a lot of low end, and it's awesome. Yeah, the 2-player aspect is a lot of fun. There's so many like hidden nuggets, extra lives, secret little passageways and extra little worlds, like when you become like the ostrich and the rhino and the dolphin and whatever else. It's so much fun. The game's so freaking difficult, but it's also very rewarding, and it's a game that I try beating annually. So disappointment turned to be one of the best gaming holiday gifts that I ever freaking received.
That is so freaking awesome. And speaking of awesome gifts, let's talk about this.
What is the Bon Cheri?
Mon
Cheri. So we are going through this Bourbon County week here. This is the first time we've had this variant.
Yes.
So I didn't know what to expect out of any of these variants. I did not know if it would be overpowered, what to expect. This is really good. It tastes like a very, very pure cherry taste. Like,
yes.
It's not like some of those beers that do cherry, it almost tastes like a medicinal.
Yeah, it tastes like a fake cherry, and I'm always hesitant trying those cherry beers because of that fake
this tastes like a very dark cherry, and it's not overpowering. I get it faintly on the finish. Initial on the front, it's almost like it's just a Bourbon County beer.
It's very sweet. They added cherries, there's granola, there's oats, there's brown sugar added to this, and you can definitely taste that sweetness, and I think it mellows out the actual burn of the Bourbon County and the bourbon barrels in it.
Yeah.
Because we had the original 2019 this year, and that one's really good too, but you can definitely taste that burn.
All the Bourbon County beers have a great body, but there is something, I don't know what's causing it, if it's the oats, granola, or what, but there is something more bready about this, like more malty, and there's like I don't know if the chew is the right word, but there's definitely a breadier aspect, if that's not even a word, I don't think. But yeah, this is a very unique beer.
It kind of feels like a dessert pastry, or like a, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it has that texture, like a pastry would. This is really good.
Yeah, it doesn't. It coats the tongue. We're drinking this slightly above room temp. I really want to let this mellow down to room temp. It's pretty darn close, but it's just a notch above.
Yeah, and once with stouts like these, you want to drink them at that temperature to let the flavors out, because a lot of things come out when it gets to that room temperature.
Yeah. And the nose is freaking amazing.
This is a fantastic, delicious beer, and Bourbon County is just a good treat beer. It's not a beer. It's not a beer you're just gonna slam a couple of them.
No.
This is a beer you enjoy over a long period of time, and it's a beer that you like want to celebrate with people with, or
for sure.
It's a celebration. It's a treat.
Yeah,
and it's so good.
And so one bottle of this is north of $20 of these variants, and we just split one between the two of us. That's all we have, and it got probably like a 8-ounce pour.
Yeah.
Because this is a 10-ounce glass, so I'm guessing we got like a 6 to 8-ounce pour each, and that's really all you need. You don't need any more than that. It's too rich to have much more than that. This is up there. This is a top shelf barrel-aged stout.
I'm excited to try the other variant and see if that one's good.
Yep, absolutely.
And we will. That's the next one we're doing.
All right. Well, in the comment section below, you've heard his holiday memory, one of his favorite games that he ever got for Christmas.
Goldeneye.
Goldeneye, but not the one you're thinking of. Ooh. We'll put a link in the corner above if you want to check that video out. Donkey Kong Country, the game that I never expected to get and changed my life, and I still play that game to this very day. In the comment section below, tell us your story. What is a game or a Christmas gift that you got that just changed things for you from a gaming perspective that you didn't really expect it to do so? Those are the fun ones. Those are the gifts that keep on giving. We always appreciate you tuning in and subscribing to the channel. Keep gaming, keep drinking. We'll see you next time right here on Gaming Off the Grid. What is the Bon Cheri?
Mon Cheri.
Mon Cheri.
You ever been to France?
No.
But you've seen someone's underpants.
This is true, I have. We are reliving our favorite holiday and Christmas movies this holiday season here on Gaming Off the Grid. And today...
You said movies.
Did I?
Yeah, we're living our favorite holiday movies.
Damn, that's a memory.
I always been on ice.
Well, it's cold outside. She said it's cold outside.
That's when he started his career?
Yeah.
Which one was wintertime? Because he was like, I like vanilla, but I need a last name. Oh, ice.
SMH. Smell my hell. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you one of my favorite Christmas skips.
Christmas skips.
Okay.
All you gotta do is just put a smile on it, keep moving forward.
It smells so bad.
You just nod.
Okay.
Just keep smiling.
Yeah, smile and nod. Okay.
I'm not breathing. I've tried so hard.
Okay, I gotta get it together, man.